Though you have been warned and given plenty of explanations and reasons to do otherwise, you have persisted. You've persisted to claim a life of joy and justice. You've persisted in carving out this time on a Sunday morning for renewal of your own heart, despite all the reasons, the resistance, fighting your attention and luring you towards fear, and perhaps luring you to stay in bed or cozy up with your coffee and the paper. And yet here you are, you persist to practice gratitude for this day, this life that has been given, this chance this morning to begin again. And so let us gather today that we might offer one another courage and strength and healing and hope. That we might offer one another courage and strength and healing and hope. And this promise that we persist together in kindness and that we persevere with compassion and prevail in this life that is more than ourselves as we create resilience with each other. These adapted words from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. And we are glad that you are here this morning to persist together, to be resilient. Every single person here is resilient. And do you know how I know? Because you're here. And you've faced life. And it is not easy. And so each one of us has the ability to be resilient inside of us. Each one of us has faced hardship. Each one of us knows joy. And so, yes, let us offer to each other this morning strength and courage and healing and hope.
Please rise and join us in body and spirit as we sing one more step.
One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will say one more word, till every word is heard by everyone. We'll say one more word.
One more prayer.
One more prayer. We will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer.
One more song.
One more song. We will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song.
Every so often, we like to have a spontaneous chalice lighting. Every once in a while, we like to ask for a volunteer from the crowd. Do we have a volunteer to read the reading, Kirsty, and to light the chalice, Flora? This.
Combustion. It's not the fuel. It's not the sparks. It's the moment of combustion, when your passion for life burns your soul into an ember in the heart of God.
Oh, yeah.
Please join in singing our chalice response, Spirit of Life.
Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship with Central Oregon. My name is Joe Meyer, and I'm a he-him kind of guy. So we're glad you're here with us this morning as we close our February theme of embodying resilience. We're an inclusive community that affirms the mind, heart, and body in our search for truth and meaning. Here you'll find both comfort and challenge for your spiritual journey. Today we offer a special welcome to all of our friends out there in Zoom land. And if you're new, we invite you to put your name in the chat. Whatever your age, income, or the color of your skin, you are welcome here. Whatever your sexual orientation, gender identity, or life story, you're welcome here. If your heart is full of joy, or if it feels heavy today, you are most certainly welcome here. And if you spent the last 2 weeks watching the Olympics and were cheering Alicia Liu skating for the gold, or if you haven't cared a bit about it, you're welcome here too. Or if you were secretly rooting for Canada in the hockey games, and the quad god didn't even make the podium, you're welcome here too.
My name is Amy Brock, and I'm the Director of Religious Exploration for Children and Youth, and it is time for all ages. So if you are young or young at heart, you can find your way to the rug for exploration today. Oh my goodness. Are we going to have nap time?
What's that? I would like that. Sounds great to me.
Nap time for all ages.
Good morning, y'all. It is February, getting towards the end of February, but one of the things that Americans do in February is we celebrate Black History Month. And during this month, we look to the stories and the experiences of Black Americans, the hard ones, the beautiful and good ones, and we remember and think about what it is to be a Black person in this country, and we look at the history of Black America. I don't know if you all know much about that history, but can you believe that at one point in this country, not too long ago, that if you wanted to drink out of a water fountain, they would have one water fountain over here for the white people and a whole different water fountain over here for the Black people. That's called segregation. And so they had different bathrooms as well. And they tried to keep everybody, or the Black people and the white people, apart, separate from each other. Now, does that sound like a very good plan or idea? No. Yes, you're not alone. There are a lot of people who disagree with this general idea of segregation. And so, as happens when people disagree with ideas and they think they're unjust, they decided to try and change it into a more just world, a more fair world. And so, all these people came together from all different parts of life, from all different experiences, all different colors. They came together to try and create change. And they did. They did things like they marched together. They did things like have sit-ins at restaurants and said, no, it's not okay that you wouldn't serve me because I'm Black. And these are Black people and white people all doing this together. And it didn't happen all at once. In fact, it was a really hard struggle. But yet, they persisted. They persisted in their nonviolent ways, which means they did not resort to violence, but they resorted to love. They said, if we get together and we show the entire world and the oppressive powers that be, the people that are trying to keep those water fountains apart, if we do this enough, then perhaps things will change. And you know what? When you drink out of a water fountain these days, are there two next to each other with one that says whites only, one that says blacks only? No. You just go to the water fountain, don't you? And you just drink water. But that didn't just happen. That happened because people got together and said, that is not okay. That is not fair. Let us get together, raise our voices, and try and make change. And they did. And thank goodness they did, because our world and our country are better off for it. So this is just one story of many stories all over history and across the world about people coming together and trying to create change and trying to make the world a more peaceful, kind, and loving place. They did that by putting aside their differences, perhaps, because not all these people agreed on every single thing in their life, but they did agree on the water fountain. And so they came together and they changed the entire system. So when you drink from a water fountain, don't let the chance pass to think all the effort and all the people that worked together to make sure that we just had one water fountain. Because I think one water fountain is good enough for all the people, don't you? I think so. So can we all just lift up, all of us lift up, a collective thank you to all those people that we will never know their names. We don't know who they are. Some of them have already died. But they did that work, and we benefit from it today. So let's all say thank you to all those names that we'll never know, all together on the count of three. Might we? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Indeed.
I saw somebody say honk just a second ago, so I just want to make sure that we know that when we want to change things, that everybody has to come together to do that. Yeah, and even people like you can make your voices heard and make those choices too. Yeah. So we're going to explore this more in our read today. We're going to talk about what our values are and how that helps us make good choices in the world. But before we go, we need to say the Children's Covenant.
In this place, I am kind. In this place, I am loving. In this place, I am a friend to the earth
and all animals and people.
In this place, I am loved. And you are.
Please rise and form the arch as we send our young people to our read.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go, as you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
Good morning. My name is Laura Pitney, and I'm the engagement coordinator here at UUFCO. And we are going to start this morning's announcements by me asking some questions of you. Because not last time, but a couple weeks ago, I was up here and I talked for kind of like a long time. And I was speaking about some of the things that we do as staff to support the fellowship. And so I want to flip it today and find out all of the things and rise up and lift up all of the things that all of you do to make this fellowship what it is. Because, I mean, I would not be here, and nor would Reverend Scott be here. Kim wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for all of you. So I'm going to start by saying first that last night was Black History, or Friday night, we did a beautiful celebration here to celebrate Black History Month. It was a joint partnership with COCC and the Fathers Group, and I'd like you to please stand up if you attended or helped make that possible as a volunteer. Do we have any of you here? Okay, awesome. Now, please, oh no, please don't sit down. We are not done with you. So I'm going to call out, first of all, that Cher Coleman and John McKee were really instrumental in this, so I'd like to give them a special clap. It takes participation and leadership for us to do things here. Okay, so keep standing. Stand up if you have dropped off any materials in the Care for the Incarcerated box that's out in the entrance. Hairbrushes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, okay? Thank you very much. Stand up if you have attended meditation in the last month here at 9 o'clock in the morning before service. See, look, we make things happen here. Okay, if you have volunteered in RE, which is our Young Children's Program, if you have gone on a hike or gone cross-country skiing, or maybe helped make coffee or cleaned up coffee in the last month, stand up, please. Okay, now look. You see all this stuff? Okay, keep standing. I know your legs are getting tired, but let's see. Maybe you attended Metaphysical Adventures or Fill Your Cup, or maybe you helped lead one of those things. Stand up. Stand up. Come on, keep clapping. There's a lot of stuff we do here. Maybe you've purchased a ticket to come see the house band concert that's happening on Friday. Stand up. Stand up. Oh, look at all those people. Okay. Maybe you are part of the art team, or maybe you're on the board, or maybe you're a member of the finance committee, or maybe you came in the building for any purpose in the last month. Stand up. Including right now. Okay, see? Thank you, everyone. Okay, you can all sit down now. Okay, see, we do things together here. So thank you to everyone who's made all of those things possible and all the things that I didn't mention. I have a few more things I want to call out. The Care for the Incarcerated donations are continuing through the end of the month. You can bring them anytime before the end of February. There is a special forum happening if you're interested in the issue of homelessness here in Central Oregon on March 3rd, so that's in about a week and a half. And it's not happening here, it's happening at the West Side Church, and it's in collaboration with Bend United Methodist, West Side Church, and the Mountain View Community Development, and us. So you can attend. There's going to be a bunch of booths there that you can find out information about all the things that are happening to address the issue of homelessness here in Central Oregon, and there will be a presentation that starts at 6. Church Center, Engagement Hub, Chalice Center, what are we calling it? Okay, there's a new directory. We've used Breeze for however many years we used it. It has slowly died a long, slow death. We are now using Chalice Center. That's our nickname. The actual platform is called Church Center, but you know, we do things our own way here. Chalice Center. Please make sure that you participate in that. It's the way you can get engaged in all the things that I just talked about where everyone was standing up. And if you have questions after this service, here there will be 2 people, someone named Stephanie and someone named Ray, who are going to be providing assistance. So if you're confused, lost, want to connect, come up here at the end of service. We do a lot of things here that is outward facing, right? And it takes a lot of energy. We come here on Sundays and it helps with a renewal. It helps us develop a kind of inner strength and connectedness. And sometimes we need that not just for an hour on a Sunday, but maybe we need it for a little bit of a longer period of time. And I have good news for you. April, there are 2 different longer form gatherings that are going to be happening that you can participate in if you wish. One is being sponsored by the Men's Fellowship. It is their 3rd annual renewal weekend. There is a poster about that out on the kiosk, and you can make sure your name is on the list for Men's Fellowship mailings. You can also join through the Chalice Center. And they will communicate with you about how to register. So stay tuned for that. That's at the end of April. Women's Connections is sponsoring one also. Again, a multi-day event an opportunity for you to connect with yourself, to connect with other people more deeply over more time. So it's just a chance to go slow down and connect. So Men's Renewal Weekend, end of April. Women's Connections Gathering is happening in the middle of April. Same deal, out on the kiosk, there's signs. If you are participating in the membership class at the end of service today, please go directly into Linus Pauling where we met last time. And that's all from me, and I'm happy to introduce Ken Wilhelm, who is our vice president of the board, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about where we're at with our fundraising towards next year. All right, thanks everybody.
Good morning. As Laura said, my name's Ken Wilhelm, and I have the privilege of serving as the vice president of your board of trustees. And on behalf of the board, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the generous support that you all have provided for the annual pledge campaign. As you've heard, we're off to a really good start toward meeting our goal of $600,000. Our annual pledge campaign theme this year is Powering Our Values in Central Oregon. And your generous support provides the power that is needed for UUFCO to remain strong and vibrant today and going forward as we promote the values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. It's your generosity that is needed for us to cope with the growth that we've seen recently in attendance. We have another full house here today, which is great. And beyond attendance, we can also build on and improve our congregational care and ministries, including social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion work, education support through tutoring, men's and women's connections, religious exploration for the young and the not so young, and community outreach and support, among many others. Your support fosters better service to the fellowship, to you, through the potential to expand staff hours as needed and create positions when they are needed. You may have heard the axiom, people vote with their feet. If they aren't getting what they want, they move on to something or somewhere else. I would amend that to say that people vote with their money, with their dollars. You have voted with your discretionary dollars to invest in the well-being of this congregation. Your generous support over the years has brought us to where we are today, together here in this beautiful building, sharing our love for and with each other. And it's because of your support that we will move confidently into the future in solidarity. For that, I and the entire Board of Trustees are humbly grateful. Thank you. Your annual contributions reassure us that you trust in the work of the board, and that's critical. It's right there in the title, the Board of Trustees. That's not the official definition of trustee, but it reflects the idea that you trust us to respect and honor your needs and goals. You inspire us to excel in our stewardship role, to do the hard work of planning, coordinating, and evaluating. It reassures us that you're invested in the work we do here at UCO and the vision of what we can do going forward. Because we can count on your support, we can honor the earth by installing solar panels to be more energy efficient. We can protect and preserve our building and property by developing and launching a wildfire prevention program. I don't know if anybody noticed, but they just finished doing the limbing and took out some trees, and we're better and safer for that. We can share the abundance we have by lending our space and commercial kitchen for community use and bring beauty and inspiration into people's lives through art and music. We didn't get here by accident. It's because of all your past efforts and all you continue to do to bring more love into our fellowship and the community. I and the board are so very grateful for your efforts, your kindness, and your trust. Thank you. Thank you.
We create the story of this community each Sunday and every day in between. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it. We dedicate ourselves and our offering to the work of this congregation as we weave a tapestry of love both within and beyond these walls. And now we'll accept the offering today.
One of our rituals here is that we share our joys and our sorrows and our gratitudes with each other each week. We have these forms on our kiosk that you can fill out, or you can send it to the office via email during the week, and we read those aloud to share what's going on in our lives with each other. If there's something in your own life that you'd like to light a candle for during this time, please feel free to do so. They're on the sides of the sanctuary. I've got the first gratitude, and I don't know who it goes to, but isn't this stole amazing? Right? And it just showed up one day in the office, and I don't know who to thank. So whoever you are who offered this congregation this stole, we thank you. And maybe it was a note that blew off in the wind, I don't know. But it's amazing. Thank you. We all enjoy it. Our second is a sorrow and a concern. It's from Maggie Smith. Please send healing energy to Chayla Sloper, who, while visiting in Gresham, suffered a blood clot in her lung last week. She's back in Bend and is recovering. I got an email from her this morning, and she is healing and appreciates your thoughts and loving energy and prayers. We have two more gratitudes in the same theme here. One's from Tony Collette. We provided this facility, our congregational space, for a special event this past Friday, the Black History Month Ritual Ceremony Dinner, a welcoming evening for our black neighbors and the greater community. I'm very proud of our fellowship members who volunteered and worked hard for many hours, both before and after, indeed. And also from Cher Coleman, who was one of the organizers of that event. Gratitude to our UU Fellowship for hosting and partnering with the Fathers Group, COCC, and our black brothers and sisters in celebrating Ubuntu, I Am Because We Are, this past Friday, a celebration of the force of nature within all of us. Those in attendance and participation experienced ancient and timeless spiritual expression from the motherland of Africa, continent as carried to the shores of America by way of the Middle Passage. It was a gorgeously orchestrated opportunity to shed a bit of Western convention for soulful expansion. Thank you. Indeed, thanks to everyone who made that possible. In the midst of all that's happening in the world, it is nice to come here on Sunday morning just to take a moment to pause. And inside of this hour to an hour and 15 minutes, we create a place to pause within the pause, to take a deep breath. Sometimes this might be the only time all week that you remember to just calm down for a moment, take some deep breaths, be with yourself, be with your body, and create a loving spaciousness within yourself. I'm going to offer a spoken prayer by the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Savage, and we'll follow that by a shared silence together. Spirit of love, Spirit of life, eternal mystery beyond and within, receive the meditations of our hearts and prayers on this day. We acknowledge that so much of this human experience dances in complexity, in challenge, and heartbreak. We acknowledge that there is so much that we carry every day. The ways that others have let us down, made us feel overlooked, unappreciated, not fully welcome as who and how we are. We name for ourselves that to be human, finite beings in an infinite universe is to exist in a world that can be cruel, and that sometimes we sip from bitter cups of cruelty and pass it on to others. Sometimes we fall short of remembering that we live in a sacred interdependence, and that our strength and our wisdom and our kindness, our compassion, and our grace are all blessings that we have in service to the greatest good. With humility, may we reflect on our own shortcomings, and with gentle hearts, seek that deeper path of living through forgiveness and generosity of heart. Spirit of life, transcendent, holy essence around and within us all, help us this day to fully embrace that we are a people of faith and that we believe another world is possible and is already here within us. If we only choose to return to that hopeful possibility again and again. To be resilient is to proclaim that our love and legacies of love shall endure beyond us and make changes in our lives, our families, community, and our world. May we embody resilience each time we persevere. May we embody resilience as easily as we breathe. May our resilience create ripples of possibility for those who seek us. May our resilience create a new world within us, thus empowering us to be a part of creating a new world all around us. May it be so. Amen.
Our reading this morning comes from the Methodist pastor and poet Martha Postlethwaite. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue.
Our anthem this morning is an invitation to free ourselves of hate and prejudice and to learn how to coexist with all our differences. It takes us to Puerto Rico as we sing in the Afro-Puerto Rican style of bomba, more specifically the traditional bomba yuba. And it translates in English as come sing with me, sing this yuba. Come sing with me in rhythm of yuba. Come sing with me for freedom. Today, I invite you to reflect while I sing this yuba. If you want to change the world, bring into your life freedom. Give space for everyone so that we can fight for freedom. Sound the drums for freedom. Keep singing this song for freedom. Let's sing together. Let the children sing for freedom. Stop the violence for freedom. Come sing with me.
Ven cantan conmigo, cantas yes tuba.
libertad.
Auto la violencia. Por la libertad. Ven canta conmigo, ven canta conmigo por la libertad. Ven canta conmigo, ven canta conmigo por la libertad.
Yeah. So no one could believe it at all. It's 1993, and somehow this tall, goofy writer landed the dream job of his life, taking over David Letterman's spot and getting to host a late night show. It would be called Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And no one could, why would they give him a show? He was the last one ever to think it to happen. And yet, somebody believed in him, and they gave him this late night show. It was the Late Late Show. It's the show after the late night show. So that's how you get into the late night business. But he was thrilled, tickled silly. Got his buddy Andy Richter, and they had a absurd, ridiculous, hilarious run from 1993 until 2009. So much fun. Why did it end in 2009? Because the next gigantic dream happened. They offered him The Tonight Show, the famed spot, the one that Johnny Carson had, that Leno took over. Conan O'Brien would be hosting The Tonight Show. And so they packed all their things, and they moved, and they began The Tonight Show in 2009, and then they stopped doing The Tonight Show in 2010, and Leno came back. I don't know if you remember this, but it was a big deal. Conan felt betrayed. The whole comedy industry said, how could Leno do this? It's so unfair. Conan's been doing a good job, and he basically got fired from The Tonight Show. What would he do then? He didn't exactly know, and yes, it stung. And people were all curious, what would he say as he said goodbye on his last show? I mean, he had all the reason in the world to just really stick it to NBC and to Leno, but he didn't. What he said was, I've had the most amazing time in my life. Please, please do not be cynical. Cynicism is one of the worst qualities you could ever have. It doesn't create anything. He said, just work hard, be kind, and good things will happen. Don't be cynical. It is hard work sometimes to not be cynical, is it not? We can be exhausted. We can be worn down. The news can hit us over and over. Bad news upon bad news upon news we cannot believe is happening. And it can be easy to shift into a world of cynicism. We can conclude that forces have been arranged and they're just far too big, far too powerful, far too wealthy, too entrenched, too networked, too much a part of the system to be moved by anything. So just throw our hands up and stop trying. And when we do that, that is exactly what the oppressive forces in the world hope for. They hope for cynicism. They hope for us to give up our agency. It is in this space that oppression lives and grows. Oppressive forces, whether they are authoritarian politics, or their white supremacy, or their misogyny, or their anti-queer, or it's around economic exploitation, or ecological destruction, or the slow erosion of democracy in our country. Oppressive forces hope for us to become cynical, to throw our hands up, to feel isolated and ineffective. They want us to believe that we are alone, that our actions don't matter, and that no matter how hard we try, we just won't be able to shift the world around us. But it is not true. It is not true. There are stories and stories throughout history that we can turn to that remind us that people coming together, being resilient, can change the world. We oftentimes don't hear these stories because they take down or usurp authoritarian power. But they're real, such as the People's Power Revolution in the Philippines in 1986 that ended Ferdinand Marcos' dictatorship and restored electoral democracy there. Or there's the Solidarity movement that happened in Poland in the 1980s. It was a labor-based nationwide movement that forced the collapse of this one-party communist rule in Poland. Or the Velvet Revolution. Has anyone heard of the Velvet Revolution in Czechoslovakia? Some people, maybe. But in 1989, student-led protests and broad civic people coming together in a mobilized fashion ended the communist rule with almost no violence. How about the Baltic Singing Revolution in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania around 1990? You ever heard of that one? Maybe, maybe not. But it helped end Soviet control and reestablish independence in that area. But you've probably heard of the fall of the Berlin Wall, right? Well, that happened because of Monday demonstrations and people coming together. And this is Black History Month, so we have a story right here in our country with the Civil Rights Movement. It wasn't an anti-authoritarian regime overthrow, but it did successfully dismantle the racial order in this country of segregation and upended Jim Crow. All these things happened by people coming together, by believing that they could change the world, and they did. They did. And these are our stories and our heroes if we ever find ourselves sliding into cynicism. The world can change. All these things, all these movements, one of the things they had in common were broad coalitions of wildly diverse and different people. There were workers and students and elders and faith groups and professionals. Anyone who could show up and do the work was welcome. It wasn't just this narrow, do you believe exactly what we believe? Do you fit in this activist box? But it was people coming together to do something larger than themselves. And this is what we are being invited to do in these times. To find allies, people that we might disagree with, but who believe in a greater love, believe in democracy, and believe in a world that can be fairer and kinder. The UUA president, Sophia Bettencourt, invites us into this space. When I was in Minneapolis, this was one of the main issues that they wanted us to take home with us. We were invited into this space by queer women of color who are marginalized, who said, we might have to join hands with people we disagree with, but that is how the coalition happens. It is easy to surround ourselves just with like-minded people. It feels good. Yes, it feels good to agree, to be understood. But the world is changed when we begin to become uncomfortable. When we ask other people, will you stand for this dehumanization? And if the answer is no, then they are our allies. And yes, this has limits. Of course, the author James Baldwin said, we can disagree and still love each other, unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. So yes, there are limitations, and it rubs right against that point of dehumanization. Humanism is a good thing to ground in, and there are all kinds of different humanisms. But humanism at its core affirms the dignity of humanity. And so when we can find people we disagree with ideologically and come together, we can create something new. Because at odds are how oppressive powers want us to be. They want us to judge and cast aside and keep us fighting with one another. In his book, Cat's Cradle, Kurt Vonnegut writes about these jar wars that this young man would have. He would put bugs in a jar and watch them fight. He wrote, I can't remember what all Frank had fighting in the jar that day, but I can remember other bug fights we staged later on. One stag beetle against 100 red ants. One centipede against 3 spiders. Red ants against black ants. But they won't start fighting unless you keep shaking the jar. And that's what Frank was doing, shaking the jar. So the question to always be asking is, who is it that is shaking the jar? The columnist David Brooks retired from the New York Times this past week and wrote his final column. In it, he does make this appeal to humanism. He writes, true humanism is the antidote to nihilism, or we might say to cynicism. Humanism is anything that upholds the dignity of each person. Antigone trying to bury her brother to preserve the family honor. Lincoln rebinding the nation in his second inaugural address. Martin Luther King writing that letter from the Birmingham jail. Those are examples of humanism. These are examples of people trying to inspire moral motivations, pursue justice, and move people to become better versions of themselves. Humanism comes in many flavors: secular humanism, Christian humanism, Jewish humanism, and so on. It is any endeavor that deepens our understanding of the human heart, any effort to realize eternal spiritual values in our own time and circumstances, any gesture that makes other people feel seen, heard, and respected. Sometimes it feels as all of society is a vast battleground between the forces of dehumanization and, on the other side, the beleaguered forces of humanization on the other. And so he says, I look at these efforts with growing admiration and enthusiasm. And my questions are, how can I get involved? Where do I go to enlist? Of course, the forces of humanization are needed not just on campuses, but also within every company, community, and organization where people are engaged in the vital search for good conduct, ethical leadership, and a greater wisdom about what is truly significant. How do I get involved? Where do I go to enlist? We hear this kind of question all the time around here. What can I do? What can I do in these times? Because it is so very needed to do something with ourselves in these difficult times. Well, the first thing you can do, you're in luck. You're already doing it. You're here with other people. You're creating relationships, bonds, and you're connecting. That is the most primary thing you can do, is reach out and be with other people. Be curious, wonder about them, have them feel seen and heard. But what else? There's a story on NPR once about a guy in Portland who was feeling just the same thing. He didn't know what to do. And his wife suggested, well, why don't you do some kind of community service or something? And he was a jogger, and he realized he was really upset with all the litter that he saw around Portland. And so one day he just goes out and he starts picking up trash. And it makes him feel better. It didn't change the whole world, but it did give him agency. So then he reached out and he said, well, I wonder if anybody else is doing this. And indeed, there's a group named Solve who gets together, and they go out and they pick up litter together. And in that way, they begin to make a larger difference. There are all kinds of small, seemingly insignificant things that you can do. And oftentimes we are tempted to discount these as not counting, as not being big enough. And asking ourselves the question, what else can I do, is always okay. But discounting the things that we are doing, less okay. And so to this question that I and many of us ask ourselves, what can I do? I'd like to ask you all for some suggestions. What are some of the things that you do or that we could do? Let's source some ideas of what it is, small, seemingly insignificant things that we can do, and we can share them and hear them to answer this question of what can you do. So are there any brave folks who can just share what you do? And I think I'm not going to pass a mic. I'll just listen and I'll repeat. What's something small you could do? All right. Martha, what can we do? Smile, right? Holy smokes, seemingly insignificant, but it can change someone's day. What else can we do? Yeah. Sally, what is it? Knit red hats. Yeah. He just got one. What else can we do? Like small things. What? Share your ideas. What? You can ask someone if they're okay when they've had a change. Yeah, share.
Along that line, whenever you go out into the community, do your grocery shopping, talk to people.
Talk to people when you go grocery shopping. Connect. Don't isolate. Right. Yeah. Hold the door. Yeah. Support your family. Be kind.
The Chinese have a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Chinese have a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Go plant a tree, metaphorically or literally. Find a new small business to support. You're going to be changing somebody's life if you do that. Peter?
Attend the No Kings Rally March 28th.
Attend the No Kings Rally March 28th. Yeah. Yeah.
Say hello to everyone you walk by.
Say hello. Yeah, simply say hello. Buy locally. What else?
Start your own business.
Start.
And treat your workers fairly.
Yeah, if you have a business or if you're starting one, treat your people fairly. Mary?
Support your local candidates.
Support your local candidates. Yep. They need support. Yeah. Pledge to UFCO. That is, Nick is not a plant. Pledge to UFCO. Yes. Tell your barista or your checkout person, hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Check out the community bulletin board by the bathrooms. There's lots of cool things there, including 5051 Central Oregon's flyer that has the No Kings debate.
Okay, yes, another plug, yes. But check out the community bulletin board and then go do things in your community. Again, just by showing up, making connections.
Buy art from BIPOC artists.
Buy art from BIPOC artists. Yeah. Attend the homelessness forum. All right, this is like another set of announcements here. Yeah.
To quote Ted Lasso, be curious, not judgmental.
To quote Ted Lasso, be curious, not judgmental.
When it comes time, vote.
Vote when it comes time. Sue?
Write postcards for democracy.
Write postcards for democracy. Laura?
I'm a dog owner, so when I'm out walking my own dog, I take extra bags and clean up my neighborhood.
She's a dog walker. Laura's the one cleaning up the extra poop. Yeah. Greg?
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Yeah.
Don't just mind your own business.
Don't just mind your own business. Yeah. What a couple more things? Yeah.
Treat the homeless with respect.
Treat the homeless with respect.
Get to know your neighbors.
Get to know your neighbors, right? They've been there the whole time. Get to know young people, the next generation. That's right. Show them that they matter and they care. How about the choir up here?
Love your Mother Earth. Do all you can to eat less, do less, just love her.
Love Mother Earth. Less of an impact. Yeah.
Show up to support groups for yourself. Show up to support groups
Show up to support groups.
for yourself and everyone.
For yourself and for everyone else. How about the choir up here? Yeah.
Support the arts.
Support the arts.
Support the Ben Food Project by leaving the green bags with groceries.
Green bags, Ben Food Project.
That's what I was going to say is whenever you go grocery shopping, just buy a few extra and save them up in a bag, like the green bag.
Yep.
And then at the end of the month, give them to a food bank.
Yep. Fill those food pantries. They are in need. Yep.
Volunteer or donate to the nonprofits that support the causes you care about.
Volunteer and donate to nonprofits. Come on, James.
Sing when you're depressed.
Sing when you're depressed. Grace, last one here.
Give a friend a ride when they need one.
Give a friend a ride when they need one. All these things, right? None of them alone are going to change the world. But like Joe told us earlier, calm down. Don't try and save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands. And you recognize it and greet it, and only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue. Reinhold Niebuhr wrote one of the most amazing and beautiful passages. He said, "Nothing that is worth doing can be achieved in our lifetime. Therefore, we must be saved by hope. Nothing which is true or beautiful or good makes complete sense in any immediate context of history. Therefore, we must be saved by faith. Nothing we do, however virtuous, can be accomplished alone, and therefore we are saved by love." Amen.
Our closing song today is Wayaya. Please stand and rise. And join us in singing.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will, and we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. 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 Oh yeah, yeah.
We invite everyone to stay around for coffee hour after our service, and we encourage you to reach out, and especially to someone who's wearing a paper name tag. Will you please remain standing and join us in the unison reading of our covenant, the promise that we make to one another as we extinguish the chalice.
Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I heard that story about the trash picker-upper because Laura Pitney had heard it on NPR one day, and it stuck with her, and she shared it with me. It's a small little story of hope, but she said, but I remembered it. For some reason, it stuck with me. There are stories of hope all over the place. Stories of resistance, stories of resilience, stories that prove to us in the real world that another world is possible when people come together, when we come together and follow the path of love. May you go into this day, find that path, stay steady on it, and be curious about where it might take you. Amen.